everyone, welcome back for another video and hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Today again, there's many positive news. Let's start with the first pillar and a lot of trends towards institutionalization. We have first, IBM's head of blockchain, Jesse Lund, say that Bitcoin will hit $1 million. I know many of you are probably very skeptical because there are so many people saying bullish predictions for Bitcoin, but many of them are quite baseless. But now you should just listen to this and my take of why this is really significant and why you should pay attention. Jesse Lund, Vice President of Blockchain and Digital Currencies at IBM, shared his predictions at the IBM Think 2019 conference, which took place in around middle of February. And he said, I see Bitcoin at $1 million someday. He explained that he likes that number, given that if Bitcoin is at $1 million, then Satoshi is on value parity with the US penny. It just means that if Bitcoin is at $1 million each, then one Satoshi will equals to 1 US penny. And he noted at such a value, the whole network could have over 20 trillion of liquidity. He then suggested that such liquidity could change corporate payments and high value payments in general, including he see that maybe $5,000 at the end of the year. When asked about what's the price predictions, right? But he see a way higher upward trajectory. Lund also revealed that the firm is considering working with various other digital assets, explaining that they believe there should be an ecosystem of a variety of digital assets that provide settlement instruments that enable these cross-border payments, and the participants in the network should be able to choose and negotiate their choices in real time. And Lund went on to state that it could be Ripple, it could be XRP, even it could be Bitcoin. But it would also probably include other instruments like stablecoins and even eventually soon, hopefully, central bank issued digital currencies. Now, this is huge because you have IBM is a huge company and their clients are also top banks in each country and also the other clients in other major industries. Most of them are in the Fortune 500 list. So big clients, right? And if IBM adopt their cross-border payments using Bitcoin, XRP, Stellar Lumens is already their partner, then can you imagine the adoption, right? And then the real use case, right? Just even a small percentage of all these clients directing a small percentage of their flows into Bitcoin, XRP, Stellar Lumens, Tether, or Ethereum DAI, right? Can you imagine the potential and the explosive impact of such adoption or not, right? Yeah, and this is really huge. And not only that, Jesse Lund is a very prominent individual. He is very well aware that anything he say will be published. And he dared to go on the record and say this, right? Although, of course, he didn't give a timeline of when that will hit $1 million, right? And that is why this is so significant. And it's just with IBM, even attempting or considering the thought of partnering with other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, XRP, right? In addition to Stellar Lumens, which already is their partner, this just means that, right? That is why it is very clear towards the institutionalization, right? Because you do see now big names associating themselves with Bitcoin, with XRP, with Stellar. No longer this criminal association, right? No longer those negative things. In fact, if criminals want to use Bitcoin, it is even better, even easier for the police to catch them actually. And that is why, right, in the next 5 years, Tim Draper actually predicted that only criminals will be using cash. The rest of the people will be using Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Next, Germany Derivatives Exchange to launch crypto physical futures. Eurex, a Germany-based derivatives exchange operated by Deutsche Börse, is reportedly planning to launch futures contracts tied to digital assets. People familiar with the matter reportedly told the blog that Eurex is planning to launch futures contracts tied to such digital currencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple, having already had meetings with market-making companies to discuss the products, right? And this is key. Deutsche Börse has reportedly been considering the introduction of digital currency futures since December 2017, yeah? And a spokesperson said that we are thinking about futures with which private investors and institutional investors can protect existing investments in Bitcoin or set for falling prices of the cyber currency. Now, Eurex is an international derivatives exchange operated by one of the world's leading stock exchanges, Deutsche Börse. Eurex Clearing reportedly manages a collateral pool of 55.5 billion US dollars and clears trades valued at 12.5 trillion euro each month. So, Deutsche Börse is as large as New York Stock Exchange, but in Germany. And they are now thinking of offering, right? They are planning, not even just thinking, they're planning to offer futures contracts, but backed by physical, underlying assets of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. This is very, very similar to what is planning or what is in the works of New York Stock Exchange ICE, right? They plan to launch Bakkt, and this is the similar version but launched in Germany. And that is why, again, this is so huge. With all these traditional large exchanges, integrating crypto into them, adopting crypto into their product offerings, right? And offering these to their huge base of clients that already trust them, then, and more importantly, these futures are physical backed. That means they will need to buy the physical underlying assets of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. And that is why I say this is really important, especially if you're an investor. Imagine Bakkt, then Deutsche Börse, right? All demanding increasing demand for other underlying assets. That just ought to tell you what, the only reason or the only way that they can buy this, right, with the continuing limited supply is that prices has to go up, right? Then again, it's just my opinion, not financial advice, but do you follow my argument, right? It just makes sense that way, yeah? And if New York launch it, and it's going to be this year, Deutsche Börse didn't know exactly when, but they did come out with this news, so I believe it will be this year as well. Could be in the second half, yeah? Then can you imagine that other exchanges in the world will also follow their footsteps, because people look to these big exchanges, these big countries to see what they do, and if it's successful, they will then 2020, year 2021, other big markets will also have the same offerings. Next, University of Michigan Endowment ups investment in Andreessen Horowitz crypto venture fund. So, University of Michigan's $12 billion endowment plans to bolster just means increase, its investment in a crypto network technology fund managed by American venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz, right? Now, according to the document, they already had committed $3 million to that fund in June 2018. And now this is a follow-up or top-up investments, right? And that's been approved, although the amount is not specified, right? Now, what is important is they say the rationale behind the backing of investing into their crypto fund, increasing the investment, is that crypto has become an important area of innovation and entrepreneurship that warrants focused attention, and that it is regarded as a distinct type of technology by entrepreneurs, funding sources, and developers. Yeah, and that is why it is so key. Don't forget, in the Q4 of last year, we already have Yale University starting to invest in crypto funds as well. Then in December, also we have news that Harvard, Stanford, and many other top Ivy League US universities are investing, because they have endowment funds, that they are investing directly into crypto fund as well. And a lot of these crypto funds, they also invest directly into crypto. And that is why you see, despite the bear market, despite such a more than 1 year long of crypto winter, endowment funds like this continue to invest, though it's a small amount, but it just, more and more of them are increasing their investments, right? That ought to tell you that, institutions are definitely coming into this space, right? And it is already starting. Next, crypto hedge fund Pantera Capital seals $130 million for third crypto venture fund. So Pantera Capital is the largest crypto hedge fund in the industry today. For their third crypto fund, that their target is to reach $175 million. Now that they already achieved $125 million, right? But the thing is, they only obtained, they only secured $25 million since last August. A clear indication that the bear market has had an impact on fundraising. Fundraising has been slow, right? But regardless, that they are confident that they can achieve their target by March closing. So they have 1 more month, right, to do this, and they are now talking with a lot of institutional investors such as endowments and pension funds, yeah. And the early investors into these funds already include high net worth individuals, family offices, and others that could move money quickly. So it's definitely institutional investors who invest in this kind of hedge funds, right? Because their entry minimum capital is huge. Now, though, that to increase or fill up their quota, that they are now talking to endowment funds and pension funds. And no surprise, because early on you already hear university increasing their investments. So I don't see them having a problem filling it. And not only that, last week, right, you have Morgan Quick securing investment from the first pension fund, right, Fairfax County, right, investing about 1% of their funding or their AUM into crypto firms, mostly into crypto firms. So they have plans in the future to invest a small percentage of that directly into crypto, although it hasn't happened yet. But come on, crypto firms are the ones, right, that will benefit because crypto prices go up. So it's the same, it's just a safer bet, right? It's just they will take a lot more convincing, of course, right? Because they're dealing with people's hard-earned money. That ought to tell you. But for people like you and me, right, we should, especially if you're young, right? My opinion again is that if you have a small money that you think you're willing to lose, this is a truly asymmetrical bet, right? That you can, as a normal layperson, invest directly into the crypto, right? Because you can't invest in a hedge fund. Not many people can, right? So yeah, so the best chance for a normal people to get the asymmetric risk return is to invest directly into crypto, because you can even buy $10, right, of Bitcoin. Yeah. So again, pass this message around, right, that maybe a lot of your loved ones, they didn't know that so many big names now are into crypto, are embracing crypto. That ought to tell you the confidence that normal people like you and me should have more confidence now. And that's why for me, myself, right, I have actually increased my holdings, continue to increase my holdings despite this kind of winter, right? Yes, because you have to take a long-term view, right? And again, of course, this amount could very well go to zero, yeah, but the chances of that happening is more. But what if it really reached $1 million, right? Will you be crying because you didn't invest enough? So think clearly from that angle, yeah? Next, I want to show you just Pantera Capital's portfolio, yeah? Let's start from the right-hand side. They invested in a lot of trading and exchanges that deals with crypto, and including Abra, Bakkt, ArisX, right, or Circle. All these will benefit when people invest into crypto. When people buy and sell crypto, they will invest, and that's exactly like Binance, right? Binance earned $500 million estimated in last year, despite a bear market. And you can only, and why is that? Because people are buying, are selling. So that is why, right, it ought to make sense for you to also consider, right, to get yourself into crypto, because all these companies in this space that are invested in by Pantera Capital, you should look at the screen, right? Because all these companies will benefit because of the prices of crypto increasing manifold in the future. Yes? Yeah. Next. Latin America's largest investment bank to launch its own security token. So Latin America's largest investment bank, Banco BTG Pactual, is releasing its own blockchain-based security token. And the name is called REIT-BZ, which will be backed by distressed real estate assets in Brazil, will reportedly enable the bank to provide its real estate business to international investors at lower cost than traditional means. So that they are embracing this technology. Not only that, right, what are they buying? So this kind of token is backed by, that means if you have $10 million worth of real estate, they can now separate them down to 1% ownership, right? But without a security token, without digitizing that asset, that real estate asset, you can't just buy 1% of a real estate, right? Because this would be too complex. But now by digitizing that real estate, you can buy 1%, and that is why it is much more affordable for anyone. And that the key is that it broadened out the participation into investments, right, for normal people, and it can help lower the income inequality gap. And more importantly, investors will be able to buy read busy via a special platform by using the Gemini dollar stablecoin or Ethereum. So again, this is very good use cases for Gemini dollar and Ethereum, right? Because now you have Latin America's largest bank, right, offering these products. So again, this is by a bank. So a lot of trust already is being built with their clients, and they are now offering a token. And for people to buy into that token, you need to first get some Ethereum, get some Gemini stablecoin. So that is really, really interesting, because you can offer, right, you can just increase the adoption of crypto. Next, right, on token news, Stanford researchers developed privacy mechanism for Ethereum. Researchers from the Stanford University and Visa Research have developed a privacy mechanism for Ethereum smart contracts, right? Now, the researchers created a fully decentralized confidential payment mechanism called Zeta that's consistent with both Ethereum and other smart contract platforms. The transaction fees on Zeta are confidential, when one transaction costs approximately 0.014 Ethereum, or around $1.51 at press time. Enhanced confidentiality is reportedly enabled by the option to lock funds in an account to a smart contract. So the anonymity guaranteed by Zeta is more similar to Monero, a leading privacy coin, right? That what it does is it hides the sender and receiver details involved in transaction among a group of users chosen by the sender. Now, this news is significant. Of course, it enhances the Ethereum's features, because now you have an additional privacy element to it as one. But the other more significant point is that you have talent flows into blockchain, into crypto itself. Stanford University researcher, Visa Research, big names, right, in the traditional space are working on crypto. And when huge intellectual capital flow into this space can only prosper further. Next, third top exchange OKEx lists Ripple and Bitcoin Cash. Malta-based major cryptocurrency exchange OKEx has listed Ripple and Bitcoin Cash on its customer-to-customer trading platform. So now it allows users to buy or sell Ripple and Bitcoin Cash with 5 supported fiat currencies, namely British pound, Chinese renminbi, Vietnamese dong, Russian ruble, Thai baht on their exchange. And this is really, really interesting. You can see that OKEx, being the third largest exchange, are listing XRP, right? So Coinbase still not yet, right? Bitcoin Cash, and more importantly, they are offering direct purchase, and that means they are targeting many emerging markets, and a few of them are in Southeast Asia market, and a lot of them are in Asia. Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai baht, right? All these are directly targeting the growing Asia market, right? Moving on, new platform converts crypto to fiat without knowing your customer requirements. So cryptocurrency wallet, MyEtherWallet, a very huge wallet, in collaboration with crypto finance from BT, are releasing a platform to convert cryptocurrency to fiat without knowing your customer requirements. So this is very similar to Binance, right? The crypto-to-crypto exchange. They basically, to sign up, you don't need to submit your identity. That means you can still still hide your identity, still protect your identity, but the only condition is that daily withdrawal is up to 2 units of Bitcoin limit. Now this MyEtherWallet is doing similar things, though their limit is a bit lower. The limit per day withdrawal limit is up to 5,000 Swiss francs worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then it's convertible to euros and Swiss francs without going through KYC requirements. This is very good, because in addition to Binance, now you have another huge platform, MyEtherWallet, right, that offers these options for clients. So definitely more and more options for customers, but of course more competition for Binance. But Binance recognizing this, they are already offering a lot of new offerings as well. They have already they already have the cash to crypto exchange in Jersey, and they're expanding that to many markets this year. And they are offering decentralized exchange as well, right, targeting more advanced users, and testnet is already launched. Moving on, ConsenSys backs Ethereum-based unlisted infrastructure investment startup or infra. So Ethereum blockchain-focused development company ConsenSys has invested in an infrastructure investment startup or infra. What do they do? Or infra facilitates direct investment in unlisted infrastructure assets via the Ethereum blockchain, providing users with the ability to create, purchase, and transfer economic or ownership interest in these assets. So again, this just means that what happened is that with a lot of assets in the future, including bonds, right, equity, real assets, art, anything that can be an asset will be digitized in the future, and All Infra will just facilitate the investment into these as digitized tokens, and that is huge again. Next, you have Binance partnering Zcoin in blockchain-powered school lunch campaign. So this is in Africa. Binance, right, via their Binance charity, are now partnering Zcoin in donating money, right, to fund 2 meals a day for 200 students in Africa. And this is really, really cool. And Zcoin has been approached, and they're pledging 24,000. It's not a lot of money, but in Africa, it's a lot of money, right? And what is so significant is that this is one of the use cases that it's no longer about making money only. This is a real use case to demonstrate that every day with crypto, you are also doing good by participating in a movement. You are making, donations and charitable giving very, very transparent. And then because of this transparency, because you can track, where your money is, who it goes to, who it benefits, for what purpose, then people definitely have more confidence, right? And are more willing to donate. And that is just more funds will really go into the people who need it most. And that is really a laudable initiative, championed by Binance. Next, you have Anthony Pompliano advises Warren Buffett to buy Bitcoin. So it first started with a tweet by downtown Josh Brown saying Buffett has $100 billion in cash lying around but can't find anything to buy. Private equity funds are drunk with cash and willing to pay up for anything or everything. Then in a reply, Anthony Pompliano or Pomp suggested that Warren Buffett should buy Bitcoin. It has a better risk-reward profile than anything else he will see. It will reduce the overall risk of his portfolio, and it's likely to outperform any other investment he makes for the next decade. And that is really, really cool. And it's just a fun fact I want to share. But it will be really cool to see that, right? I know it may be a bit out there, it may be a bit ludicrous to think that Warren Buffett, who said, right, that Bitcoin has no value, it's like a rat poison, will buy Bitcoin. But anything is possible, right? Think back, Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan Bank, in September 2017, he said in press, right, and it's quoted everywhere that he said Bitcoin is a scam, right? And it will go to zero. He said he will fire any of his employees that deal or help clients to deal with Bitcoin. And then what happens? On February 14, 2019, his firm is launching their own version of coins, JPM coin, right? So it's a classic case of first they laugh at you, right? No, first they ignore you, and then they laugh at you, and then they fight you. This JPM coin is a classic example of fight you. And you know what? This last stage, right? Then they will join you, and then you win, right? So looking forward to that stage, totally. In the last 3 news, we have under the government pillar, Thai Parliament now approves amendments allowing issuance of tokenized securities. Now, this is key because Thai government has always been very, anti-crypto. And of course, last year they have turned 180 degree on their decision, and they are now, having clear rules on what allowing crypto exchanges to operate in the country, and now they are giving the green light for issuance of tokenized securities. And this is really, really cool to see an Asian government, adopting, embracing crypto. Next, Korea Exchange officials said US decision on Bitcoin ETF will set tone for local crypto markets. So an official at South Korea's Seoul Securities Exchange operator Korea Exchange say the boss is clearly eyeing developments from the US in regard to Bitcoin ETFs, right? So as you know that after the government shutdown, the SEC in US already have published that they are now looking into reviewing the 2 Bitcoin ETF, and they have 45 days to give their initial decision, and that means around mid-April is when they have to decide initially. And then after they have 200 plus days to give the final decision. And now Korea is actually saying that they are looking very closely to US decision. Now this is very key. We have already said, I have already said in previous video that smaller countries generally are looking to big countries like US to see what they are doing, and they will follow suit. Now, it is widely expected that a Bitcoin ETF will be approved sometime this year, or if not, latest next year. And if that happens, that will be again very, very good news for the industry. Why? Because ETFs, it will make it very, very easy for anyone to buy into, because ETFs will then allow people with, using their pension funds, that means your 401k plans, can also buy into an ETF. It's that easy, right? And then it will really, really push Bitcoin or cryptocurrency to mainstream. And of course, if US were to approve, then not long after that, you will see a lot of countries, and Korea is going to be the first one, openly said that they are going to look closely their offerings. Last news, UK auction house to sell 430,000 in cryptos confiscated by Belgian police. UK and Ireland-based auction house Wilson's Auction will host its first Bitcoin auction in late February. As per contract with the Belgian federal government, how many that they are selling off 430,000 in cryptocurrency at today's value, yeah? And what are the coins? It has 105 Bitcoin, Bitcoin Gold, and Bitcoin Cash, yeah? And I just want to say this because it's interesting. Because Tim Draper actually got his hand onto a lot of the Bitcoin back when the US FBI first auctioned off the coins that they seized from Silk Road website, yeah. And at that time, he actually paid 18 million worth of it there, right? And it was about, I think, $600 per Bitcoin. And he actually paid $18 million. And of course, there was a period, I think 2014, 2015, the Bitcoin prices crashed, but he still hold on. And of course, today, he made huge gains today. But, that ought to tell you. So it'd be interesting to see who are the people who now buy Bitcoin, right? Could it be Warren Buffett? That'd be really, really interesting to see. Yeah, because given so much development that is coming into place, and a lot of the institutions are still very early. They're only dipping their toes now. They're not taking the full plunge yet, right? And they ought to tell you we are still very, very early days. And now IBM, a lot of big firms, right, they are coming. Samsung, right, crypto phone, right, a phone that has crypto storage. All these big names. Apple is not even in it yet, right? And just ought to tell you what the future holds, right? So I am very, very bullish. I'm very optimistic. I hope you can sense that from just my tone. And yeah, it's not financial advice, but I really hope that you can, think for yourself, right? Do your own research, and more importantly, pass this around, right? Just this news is very objective. It is news. News is news. It's in the facts, right? So yes, and thank you so much for watching. And for new subscribers, I truly, truly appreciate your support. And also for everyone watching, listening, truly appreciate your support. You don't know how much this means to me, right? Yeah. Thank you so much, and hope you have a great day. God bless. Thank you.